New fees. All right, welcome everyone. As a lot of you know, my name is Jonathan Lambert. I am the Director of Athletics and Recreation at Keyano College. Before we get started, we respectfully acknowledge that we are in Treaty 8 territory, the traditional meeting grounds and gathering places of our First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Thank you for all attending to today's celebration for our 33rd annual awards event. We are all here today to celebrate the 2022-2023 athletics successes, and there were many of them. Thank you for all of your dedication as both as a student and an athlete. Huskies Athletics has had a banner year, literally. We would not have been here without all of you, and we all are very proud of you as representatives of Keyano College. Before we get going, I'd like to call up Fred Russell, VP of Strategy and Business Transformation for Keyano College, to bring greetings from the executive.
I'll try to take lessons from your mic using skills there. Hi everybody, welcome here tonight in this beautiful facility. I sensed a whole lot of excitement from the planning committees and teams and people that they didn't have to do much setup and they don't have to do any takedown, which I guess for you as students equally, you can just be here and have a great time. So it's wonderful that we're able to be here in this facility like this. And I hope you've all had an opportunity as well. Many of you are new to the area or have been here certainly since the beginning of the semester, some for longer. But you know, Fort McMurray is a beautiful location, misunderstood by many. And if you haven't gotten out to enjoy all of its great things, and please do. On behalf of the executive, our president, Jay Note, he's not able to be here today. I just want to extend my congratulations to all of you for your academic success and for the many successes that have been achieved either in your areas of academics, which I know many of you have had awards, and whether or not you've had awards, hopefully you're succeeding in your program of study as well, because that's incredibly important for us. Certainly, we're very proud of the athletic awards that many of you have received as well. And being a part of the marketing and communications portfolio, we're sending that stuff out all the time, and of course, your own people are doing the same thing and doing a fantastic job of it. I follow the Huskies on Facebook, and yeah, it's alive and kicking. So really proud of the job you do there. Certainly the coaches, wonderful job, and many acknowledgements and awards for the coaches this year as well. And I've had a chance to both hang out with them at games sometimes, and you know, maybe for wings and wing nights. You know, getting to know the coaches and having had a chance to meet with them one-on-one lately really just reminds me how dedicated they are, how intelligent they are, how many wonderful ideas they have. And in witnessing some of the tournaments lately at the SSWC, the energy and that feeling of family is really, really strong, and it's a joy to watch. And I said that people who are there day and night as coaches, they look like it's home to them, which is really, really special to see. You don't necessarily see that in the finance office, as an example, you know, 8:30 to 4:30 type of thing, but you definitely see that type of energy there and that camaraderie. And I think the only other thing I'll mention before stepping down is I just want to give accolades to Jonathan as well. I think he's definitely an unspoken hero in all that is done for athletics. He works tirelessly, he's on the road a lot, he will send me documents day or night if I ask for it. He's always first to respond with requests, and he will advocate for athletics and the Sport and Wellness Center like nobody else. So you really have a great champion on your sides there, and I really want to express my appreciation for him as well. So with that, have a wonderful night and enjoy the awards, and I'll be up here handing it to you as we go.
Okay, before we get to the actual awards, I'd like to call up Cameron and Ty. just here in front of the stage, everybody. So one of the things in Huskies athletics that we try to really promote is teamwork, working through adversity. When times are tough, you keep on going. And I guess the biggest one, memories that will last a lifetime. And for those who do not know, these two, I guess, outgoing Huskies got engaged last week. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know the full history of Huskies right back to '85, but we have had student athletes who started dating as student athletes and got married after the fact. What's that? 20. Yeah, but I don't think we've ever had an engagement kind of during, this is technically still during the season, so congratulations to both of them. Changing lives. That's what we do. Changing lives. Okay, so we'll start off tonight's awards with the non-CCAA sports. These are the sports that they don't play for a national championship yet. I'll call up each coach to come up one at a time to give a small speech about their season and then present their Player of the Year awards. Now, as you can see up here, it's very congested over here. So we're just going to use the one side of the stage to, if you do come up tonight, just come on up and go back down. Okay? Hopefully there's not too much traffic jam there. So first up is what the coaching staff calls the rookie of all the coaches, and that is Shadi will come up and give out the awards for esports. I guess I should say Coach Keyano.
Hi everyone. I don't know if I can top an engagement announcement, that's pretty awesome, but I do have some good news to share with all of you as far as how our teams have performed this year. It's my first year here working at Keyano. I started in July and was kind of thrown into getting to know everybody and learning how we do things here at the college and getting to know all of you guys and how amazing you all are in your various sports. And getting to work with my eSport athletes this year has been such a blessing. Every single one of these guys are just absolutely incredible. They work hard, they play hard, they're great teammates, and they're great supporters of the program. So I've been very blessed to have a great group of guys to work with this year. We're still actually in our season. We're still competing both for Call of Duty and our CCL championships at the end of the year. This is the first time Huskies have qualified for CCL playoffs, so great job to them. For our Valorant team, actually competing in grand finals against the University of Wisconsin next week for a chance at a NACE Star League championship. So big game for them next week. I'll tell them they've got to go right back to practice as soon as this is over. You guys can go party, but they've got to get to work for that. Our eSport award recipient for this year is somebody who not only represents the Huskies brand very, very well, is a model student, a model citizen really, and is always just super kind and caring and generous. But in game, really, really plays their heart out. They're a great leader for the rest of their team. They're great at helping welcome our new players and train them up to that level. Someone that's returned from last year and has brought the best qualities from that and inspiring a new generation of players and talent. And someone that I've had a great pleasure of working with and can't wait to see what they do as they complete their studies next year. Our eSports Athlete of the Year is Evan Blackmore.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone had a chance to watch our esports team compete. A number of us yesterday with the rec staff downstairs in the film room, we watched Call of Duty, right? Yeah. I'm telling you, it's one of those things where, and I'm probably not telling you guys anything you don't know, but you really get into it. I was in my head swearing as much as I do watching any court sport or soccer team play. Like, it was intense, and oh, how did we lose to St. Clair's? Those guys, that sort of, but congratulations to this year to the entire esports squad. We are definitely, we're at least leading the charge in Eastern Canada, and it won't be long before the entire country. And for everybody in attendance, we will be doing our grand opening to the new eSport Arena literally within weeks. So if you get a chance, go in and see that facility, because it's literally the second best facility in Canada. So I'm good with second best in all of Canada. So, okay, next up we are going to move to our women's and men's futsal team.
All right, get used to seeing me up because it seems to happen a lot. All right, so women's futsal first. Overall, I think it's pretty obvious to all of you, because I think all of you were there when we got the banner. I think the girls are more surprised than anybody else, but I can promise you that us as coaching staff were very surprised. So huge shout out before all that to all of you. So I'm part of the SMT for the sport as well, and afterwards we've got a lot of feedback, and the biggest feedback was that it's probably the best environment that a futsal tournament's ever had. And in those finals, and I told Hayden, and you guys have seen soccer dad Hayden debut on that weekend with him running around everywhere. And at one point in those finals, it really looked like the bleachers were going to come apart, and that's why we saw them streaming apart. All right, so give yourselves a hand. That was amazing. So overall, obviously, the result of the futsal season is pretty clear. However, it didn't start that way at all. I think overall, there's been a lot of ups and downs in our season. A lot of really highs, but also some lows. And to be honest with you, speaking from experience, that's how really good teams are built. Right? You've got to have some adversity, overcome that, and that creates what you're going to be able to do in the future. Right? It creates a foundation to find success. And so we had some of those struggles in the seeding round. Of course, being a host, we were automatically in. So we knew that we were preparing for something further down the road. And obviously, come the weekend, everybody was there. And it was pretty dominant. Not a very many teams other than SAIT could hang with us, and we ended up beating them twice. And if you haven't realized that yet, it feels pretty good when you're a Keyano College when we beat SAIT. I think we can all speak the same there regards to the sport that. All right, so obviously championship banner. I think a really good foundation to move forward and to see what special things this team is capable of moving forward. All right, we have some pretty big, lofty goals for next season, and I don't think there's any better way to lead into that than this. So moving on to the player of the year for women's futsal. This person's been here for a couple of years now. She may or may not have won this last year too, or won a award in general, and just moves on. One of the smallest players, but probably the worst player to play against. I see a lot of frowns, but it makes sense once I say the name. And overall, just continues to grow, continues to build. So the women's player of the year is Marissa Mestri. All right, moving on to men's futsal. Obviously, similar type of deal. However, I think the men's team had to work out a lot of different things, and that started at the end of last season with futsal, where we were very close, but it wasn't there. But I think it was a bit of a wake-up call for a lot of the players that we need to do a little bit more. And so obviously we did that in soccer, which we'll touch on later tonight. But in futsal, we pretty much hit the ground running right from the beginning. There truly wasn't a team anywhere in this province that could be even close to us, and I think that was pretty well shown in the tournament for us. Right, we had a little bit of a slow start and get safe, but this really annoying kid in our team somehow pulled it out and got us back to where we needed to be. I don't even have to say a name; everybody knows exactly who that is. And obviously, in the end, you know, a very dominant performance in the final. And overall, you know, the team is really coming together, and I think we're building something pretty special here. So for the player of the year, this guy is very frustrating, and it's not the guy that I mentioned before. He will be one of our top players. I can promise that moving forward, because I think he's starting to see what he's capable of, and I think that started really in this futsal season. It's one of our old men, the guy that is going to be the player of the year for futsal, and probably one of our top players moving forward. Is going to be Clayson. All right, see you guys later.
All right, before we move on from futsal, as was already stated, pretty big deal. Both teams swept banners on either side. So what I'd like to do, as fast as possible, can we get up here, the men's and women's futsal team with coaching staff, to get it, so Robert can get a quick picture, real fast, just in front of the stage. We already did it, but let's have a round of applause for our player of the year recipients as well as our two gold medal teams. Okay, next up we're going to move to one of the athletic department awards. It's kind of a lot broader than individual team, and that is the Husky Ambassador Award. So the Husky Ambassador Award, I'm going to get Jeremy to come up and help me with this one. The Huskies Ambassador Award is presented to an individual who offered a major contribution towards the overall success of Huskies athletics. They have shown outstanding display of character and Huskies pride through role modeling and giving their time when needed.
Obviously, this is a very important award for Huskies athletics, and I think there's a lot of people that are involved in Huskies athletics that maybe you student athletes don't realize how much they do for the program. There is a lot of people behind the scenes that are doing work and putting in their own time and putting in time to help support and, you know, keep the culture and allow us to do some of the things that we do going forward. And I think this person definitely fits that description. A lot of things behind the scenes in terms of academics, getting into school, transcripts, last minute requests, anybody that maybe got in late to school, this person probably had something to do with it. You know, not breaking any rules, but always being there for the student athlete and definitely the student part of it. You know, furthermore, she did a lot of work behind the scenes in terms of our golf tournament, organizing all the volunteers. You all would have worked with her, and then doing the same thing for the futsal and volleyball championships. And there's a lot of hard work and sweat that goes on behind the scenes for her to do this and to help make our program what it is. And there's a lot of people, including yourself, that do that, but there's also a lot of people behind the scenes that are laying the groundwork for us to be successful going forward. So, you know, this award is very well deserved, and we'd like to call up Susie Bowles.
For those of you who don't know, Susie is the college registrar. Literally the buck starts and ends with her in terms of registration and all that kind of stuff. And I can honestly say there is no institution in Alberta that has, between its athletics department and its registrar's office, the relationship that we have at Keyano. We're able to do, not illegally of course, but we're able to do things like I can pick up the phone as athletic director, Jeremy as athlete services can go over and have a conversation, where other departments you have to go through 3 people before you can even have a meeting with the registrar. So that relationship is something that we value so much, and Susie, to you and your staff, thanks so much.
Okay, first off, before I get to the next part, just also wanted to say thanks to a couple people in the room. You know, Steph and your staff, I'm sure you put up with all our athletes and anybody that works at the front desk or just in passing. I think it's got to know everybody there. Steph, Karen, and JJ. Also want to thank Carissa for everything that she's done. And Shania that's here as well. There's, like I said, there is a lot of people that do a lot of things for athletics that that maybe we all don't see. But let's give a round of applause for them as well. At this time, we're going to do our ACAC Minor Officials of the Year Award. And I'd like to call up the person of the evening, Coach Niels, to help handle some awards.
All right, like I said, I'll be right back. All right, so for the minor officials of the year, for those of you guys that don't know, well, you know that I obviously run game days, and the minor officials are exactly that. So all the people that you see at the table, if you're basketball, in volleyball, in futsal, all the different sports. It's a lot of fun for me to do because I enjoy sports, so it doesn't matter whether it's basketball or volleyball. But don't get yourself, they're not easy positions. You know, every single time that you play and you feel like something is going wrong, all of you yell at officials, and that includes minor officials. You know, coaches that get a little bit heated, the first place they go is the table. All right, referees, when they don't know what's going on, they blame the table. So there's a lot of people that sit at that table that take a lot of heat, but really get no credit. Right? And obviously, by doing little things like this, and I try to do as much as I can while we're playing, or while we're working, I guess I should say, to give a little bit of a spotlight, because really without these people you wouldn't be playing, right? And us as a facility, we actually do quite a lot more than the other game days, as you guys know, and that's not me, that's all the other people. All right, so we're going to recognize some of those right now. All right, if you're here, we'll get you guys to come up one by one. All right, we'll take a quick picture, we move down, and we'll get the next one to come up. All right, so we will start, all right, with Miss Natalie or Alana. Thank you, Natalie. All right, next one up is Mr. Jacob Marshall.
Let's go, bro. You don't know that. Let's go, bro.
All right, next one is Sabrina Lara. All right, give it up for Sabrina. Yes, she hates that name, so apologize. All right, last but not least, her name's Natalie, but everybody knows her Sweden. All right, Natalie Anderson. All right, give it up for Sweden, guys.
Okay, we do have two more. They are going to be given the ACAC Minor Officials Award, but they're not quite minor officials. The first one, we had an individual come on to do our color commentating this year for volleyball, men's and women's volleyball, who is a former coach at Keyano. So we have an award for Sheldon Germain. Sheldon the second one, same thing, not necessarily minor official, but gee, where do I start? The legacy, I guess is the best word to say, that this individual has put on Huskies athletics. Over 30 years involved in Huskies athletics. From commentating to in-house announcing to at one time did music, at another time, like he literally, you want to talk about jack of all trades, he literally has done it all within Huskies home game. So just a huge shout out and a ton of appreciation. CJ Phillips. I think a lot of you here, when you're 35, 40, you're going to know what Bango, you're going to know Took a Ride on Greyhound, all the catchphrases that CJ has used throughout the year. And it's one of those things where sometimes when we're used to something all the time, we sometimes take it for granted. But I want to tell you a quick little story. When our men's soccer team made it to nationals a couple of years ago, and we we went to Montreal. CJ did the color commentating for Keyano's first game, and the host committee loved what he did so much that they asked him to do all the games for nationals because he did it so well. So again, just a huge shout out, CJ. Thanks very much. Okay, moving on, we're going to call up our CCAA sport coaches to present their 3 awards for Rookie of the Year, Pride in the Pack, and Most Valuable Player. First up, someone that we haven't heard from in a while, we're going to start with soccer, Coach Slocum.
Alright, I told you guys I'll be up here a fair bit. Alright, so the men's soccer season is where we'll start off. Obviously quite a turnaround from the year before. Historically the struggle has been really good, but we had to rebuild it from scratch, which is what we've been doing ever since. And winning 1 game last season to going all the way to a conference semifinal this season is a pretty big accomplishment. Obviously we were not on the right side of the result there. A game between, I would say, easily the 2 best teams in the league, and obviously only 1 person goes through, right? It's unfortunate that we weren't that one, but I think that kind of set the stage for our success later in the year, obviously with a couple of weeks, I guess 3 weeks ago now, with the championship, right? And I think there's no doubt in my mind that the success of the soccer season aided to the futsal success, and what we learned this year in soccer and the winning in futsal now is obviously going to put a pretty good foundation in place for us to move forward, right? And we have some pretty lofty goals for next year. That's not just me, it's the guys as well. And I think we're all on the same page here, and everybody's super motivated to make sure that there's another set of banners up here. So moving forward with the players, so I mentioned earlier that we have this really annoying person in our team. And I hope he's wearing those sunglasses right now because the lights are really bright. He took them off because he knows better. This kid's quite the handful, but I don't think anybody can deny how talented he is. He also received the ACAC Rookie of the Year, which is a pretty high accolade to get. Obviously very difficult because the only time you get that is in your first year ever competing. So without further ado, our Rookie of the Year is James Barton. Alright, give it up for James, guys. Alright, the next one is the Pride in the Pack Award, which we changed for those of you that have been here longer. So it's a new award that really resembles someone that what we think represents our program very well. And it could be community, could be a player, could be on the field, off the field, could be anything about. This person probably resembles that better than anybody else. For me, it's been really exciting since coming here, seeing him grow, especially in leadership. His leadership capabilities have really come out. He's found a lot of traction within the team over the last couple of years, and I can promise you it's not without hard work. It's something that he's really obsessed about and really wanted to be successful in this year, and I think he really was. I think he's a huge component to us being able to build and win the way that we are now. So our Pride in the Pack Award winner is Jacob Marshall. All right, give it up for Jacob. All right, last but not least, our MVP. So obviously we had a very successful season. Didn't quite end the way that we wanted it. But this guy has pretty much put everything on the line every single game. Lots of frustration. He's never happy about how he played. Doesn't matter how many people tell him that he's a great player. He gets awards. Still never settles. He always wants to do better. Always wants to do more. And it's something that's starting to get contagious in our team. And it's something that you can see now in training sessions. Other guys are starting to do the same thing with that same type of drive and attitude. So our most valuable player for our soccer season is Carl Tron. Alright, moving on to women's soccer. So last year when I was up here, or obviously at the school, we talked about setting a lot of records and first in the season in the history of the school when it comes to stats, winning, all that kind of stuff. And obviously I can stand here and do that again. A massive season. The first weekend of the season was a little bit of a hiccup with obviously one loss, but then we never looked back, right? So an 11-1-1 record is something that, never mind the school never winning anything, that is about as dominant as you can get, which is pretty amazing. We still have a smaller squad than most other schools, but the girls have shown that that doesn't matter. You know, if you buy in, if you collectively are on the same page, you're capable of doing a lot of things. And I think that's what our women's soccer program is showing everybody, not just in this school, because I think it's not really a secret here, but in the rest of the league, definitely, because everybody still thinks Keyano women's soccer is nothing, is an easy 3 points, but I'm pretty sure that's in the past now. So moving forward, we've got 3 players that are key to what we've done. This first player also owned her status definitely in the futsal season. So it's a little bit of both. She was quite crazy in futsal, but that all stemmed from a successful soccer season. Kind of coming from an environment where high performance wasn't a focus, haven't had actually played for a couple of years. She made some pretty big steps moving forward, even in soccer, and obviously continued that momentum into futsal. So our Rookie of the Year is Kendra Mack. Alright, moving on to Pride of the Pack Award. So this lady's been here for a very long time. She'll be up here later to collect a pretty cool jacket as well. It's someone that's been pretty much in the thick of it right from the beginning. So she's been there at the worst parts of our program where there wasn't a single game won, where it barely felt like you were in the sport in general, to where we are now. So she's one of those corner pieces that has stuck around, which made it possible for obviously us to have the success that we do now. So our Pride in the Pack Award winner is Isabella Bustos. Alright, last but not least, it's someone that I've had the privilege of coaching for quite a few years now. First in some really ugly yellow jerseys, now in some jerseys that are a little bit nicer. This girl is pretty crazy when it comes to her sport, setting every single record pretty much everywhere she goes, but now also getting to the national stage. So we were able to travel to Montreal for her to get the CCAA award. She's one of the very few players that has a chance of completing every single individual award that you can win at our level, right? Which is the Rookie of the Year in your first year, being an all-star in every single year that you've competed, which she's done so far. So she's just finished 4 years. She's an all-star every single year. She just won the CCAA Player of the Year. The next thing is obviously CCAA Player of the Year, which is the only thing that she hasn't done yet. So we've got one more year to do it. It's going to be tough coaching at the college level when she's not around, because it's going to be a lot different for me. But without further ado, Felicia, Rodney.
Yeah, get that camera out. Yeah, so. Yo. That's my girl. Yeah,
I think that's it for me now.
Okay. We are going to move on to the next team. So I'd like to call up Coach Wilinga for men's basketball.
Obviously for us, especially the group that we had, it was a little bit bittersweet. But in bittersweet, you need to have a bit of reflection and take a look back at all the good things that we did accomplish. And this group was easily the most talented group that I've ever coached. Probably the best team that I ever played. At Keyano, in my opinion, I would go up against any one of them, and the overall end result wasn't what we were looking for, but some of the records that we definitely set are still going, and will probably continue to stand for a very, very long time in terms of legacy that this group left behind. We obviously started out with a very good start to the season, and we probably did ourselves a bit of disservice because I don't think we're going to be invited back to a U-Sport tournament again. Started the year off beating Memorial University, University of Northern British Columbia, and then beating the defending national silver medalists in their own gym and being up 36 at half. I think we sent a statement to the country that Keyano basketball is for real, and you better be careful if you're going to invite us to your tournament. So I've already been told we're not allowed back there ever, so that's one of those things that kind of goes with it. But for the school of our size to compete with some of those big schools on that stage, it was a very memorable weekend, and it's something that we'll be able to take with us for definitely a lifetime. Obviously we won 28 games in a row before we ran into probably, as we know now, the best team in the country. They were the best team in the country, the best team that day. I still believe that we were the best team in the country, but that's kind of how sports works. Our group of guys have been a part of something special in terms of going 20-0 this season. There's a group of guys here that were on both teams that have now had 2 undefeated seasons in a row, 36 straight games, and the ongoing winning streak of 44 straight games that will continue on to next season. So that legacy is, I think, we haven't checked yet, but I think it's the longest winning streak in the history of the ACAC that will continue into next season. So that being said, it wouldn't be done without our guys. All credit goes to them. They're the ones that make all the plays and put on all the work during the week. So definitely proud of this group. It's something that is bittersweet, but when we reflect back on it, we'll know that truly we were a great basketball team, and I'm very proud of it. So first off, obviously our Rookie of the Year, it was one of those things where, sometimes things just work out in your favor. We were scrambling. We didn't have our third import, an American spot. Someone bailed out with us 2 weeks before the start of school, and I had the first recruiting call with DJ at the golf tournament with him, and 10 days later he came from Florida all the way to Fort McMurray, Alberta, and I think he put the league on notice, and he will put the league on notice next year that he's one of the best players in the league. So, DJ Haynes, Rookie of the Year. Next up is our Pride in the Pack Award. To me, this one it's about leadership, example, how you carry yourself off the floor and how you play every single day. I think if you looked in our change room, there's definitely a few guys that could win this award. But to me, one kind of separated himself this year in terms of kind of what he went through and the kind of step that he made in his game. This could have went to a couple other guys, but this guy played through immense pain, a broken wrist that was broken last year and had surgery, and again was broken this year. And he made the decision that we wanted to make a run at the national title and make a run at our championship, and decided to put surgery off till spring this year. He plays with a type of passion and energy that that is unmatched and never gives up, and that's kind of been the story of his life. So I'd like to call up Keenan Carewood. Next up is our most valuable player. A lot of exciting plays and memorable moments from this guy over the course of his 2 years here, even though he's kind of been here for 3, as he's joined us during the COVID year with a lot of the individual workouts where we could only work one-on-one. But he continued to want to come back to Keyano College. We were very fortunate to have a player of his caliber here, and obviously all his accolades have been documented. And anybody that's watched him play, it's been a joy and a pleasure to coach him and watch him take over games at crazy times and help us find ways to win on multiple nights. And you can always count on him down the stretch. And one of the best players that I've coached, Sean Michael Clancy.
Next, we'll move to women's basketball and Coach Vigilance.
Calm down. Baby, you're putting my foot in my hole, look down.
You guys are really bad today. I'm trying to bring some sunshine in. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. Women's basketball, I think we had a very good year this year. I know the girls weren't happy with the result that we had, but I was very proud of the efforts that we had this year. I can do the job that I do without these two great young ladies beside me. When any coach coaches a team, you know, they're the face and they get all the accolades. But for me, I couldn't be the coach that I am without these two. So thank you very much for the great year that we had. Also, I want to take the opportunity to thank one other person, Carissa, for abandoning my team this year. Thank you very much once again. An excellent job. So real quickly, we finished 12-8 this year, made it into the playoffs. Lost our first round to Red Deer, went out to nationals. That game against Red Deer didn't have a very good start. We were down, I think, 26. But, you know, that happens. You had a bad start. But we turned it around. We came into the third and, you know, dominated the game and won the rest of the quarters. Cut it to 6, but we just ran out of time, or they probably ran out of time. But, you know, with that said, that team showed character. We showed character all year. With this team, we only lose one player. That's Eve to graduation. Have everyone back. So the league's on notice that we're coming next year. All right, and so our rookie of the year, man, this girl. Everybody knows. They know. This water dog, man. She came from Winnipeg, and she came for an opportunity that I provided her. She was just a redshirt. Came in, won a spot on our team, and if you ever seen losing a play, you see why she plays. She has a ball of energy. She gets after it. She talks a little at times, and I love it. But this girl is going to be great into the future. Luzna, Rookie of the Year. Unless you want to find the path. This young lady, determination, hard work, ball of energy. I love this kid. She came from Flin Flon and Thompson, Manitoba, by the way. We always say she doesn't like that, but she's from Thompson. Last year, came from Thompson, sat out the whole entire year because she was injured. It was unfortunate, we could have used her, but she came in this year ready to go. Didn't start up the year, but ended up playing 20 plus minutes a game. Her future is very bright. Pride in the Pack Award, E.T. most valuable player. I could have went a lot of ways with most valuable player. Most valuable player is not just the best player. I think the most valuable player is impactful on and off the court, a bona fide leader, someone who you can count on at any time. Funny enough, this is another Winnipeg kid. Funny enough. 3 years ago, she came from Sizzler in Winnipeg. We were very excited to have her, but she wasn't successful in school. It's okay, that happens. But her determinations after that was more important. She came, she battled, she got her grades right, and she became a very good player last year. This year stood out, had some big games for us, and I'm sad to see her go. However, she'll be back as my assistant coach, joining this lovely lady. Yeah! Mighty Mouse, Z.
No, no.
Okay, moving right along, moving to volleyball, and we'll start with men's volleyball and Coach Kerr.
Hello. First off, special shout out to everybody that helps out with our program. So, Fred and Susie, Steph, your staff, Krista, John, thanks. Sorry, we'll see how long I can get through this year. Our season was, it was interesting. It was up and down, lots of battles out there. Couple tough losses as we went through our season. We hosted provincials and at home. Yeah, that's correct. Provincials at home, right? Didn't go, I guess, the way we planned. Came up against a pretty good Red Deer team there, and the semis didn't pan out, but rebounded pretty well there, beating Nate. Anytime you can beat Nate for a medal, it's always good year. So that was kind of us. So we will get to the Rookie of the Year. This individual is a pain sometimes for me. But when he got here, he started putting in the work and started kind of understanding what I was trying to get through to him. And I think next year we're going to see some huge improvements from this guy. And your Rookie of the Year is Noah Keyano. Part of the pack, lots of guys, went through my head kind of for this award, and honestly, it was a tough decision. But this guy, we asked, a lot from him. We asked him to sacrifice. We asked him to commit to some stuff that we were preaching. And honestly, I know it was a tough up and down season for him. But you know what? He's always a family vibes kind of guy. He always keeps everything together. And I just gave away the surprise, so 2 silicone on. To our MVP. Again, we had a senior group of guys this year. It was not an easy decision. A lot of guys could have won this, but he was an ACAC All-Star. Alongside that, I guess he would be our most valuable player in Giacuna.
Okay, and last but not least, and I just want to take a couple of minutes because it has to do with our last team, women's volleyball. But when I took over athletics in 2016, 17, whatever it was, even around the ACAC table, when people talked about, and CJ would be able to give us a lot more facts on this, but our Keyano's women's soccer program and Keyano's women's volleyball program was literally almost like the laughing stock of the league. And the reason why I say that is I could not be prouder of the work that our coaches have done to recruit the student athletes they have, in addition to the student athletes, what they put in. Because now, when I'm around the table, I'm the one laughing. Because our girls' programs in volleyball and soccer are far from what they used to be, and now they're up among the elite. So I just want to give a shout out to both of those programs. Okay, up next. Coach Nickel, women's volleyball.
How's it going, everybody? How are you? Good, thanks for answering. Yeah, first off, I just wanted to start by thanking everybody here. It's also my rookie season, along with my boy Shadi over there at Keyano, and everybody made me feel really welcome right from the first point when I got here in June. And you know what, the whole team, like John mentioned, this was a pretty special year for the program. On record, it's the best season in Keyano women's volleyball history, so I can't really ask for any more than that from our first year. So we were 13-6. We knocked off multiple nationally ranked opponents at the time. We finally beat Red Deer for the first time ever in program history, so we were and yeah, it was a really special season, especially at home. I've never heard of this happening in my whole life, no matter where I've been, but we did not lose a single set at home the entire year somehow. So it's a pretty cool accomplishment, and hopefully something we can keep going in the future. So I'll start with the awards now. First up, we have our Rookie of the Year. And I'm just going to start this by saying a lot of these awards I could really pick a lot of different people on this team, but this one in particular, there isn't a lot of options, but there is a fantastic choice for this one. So the Rookie of the Year. This student athlete was asked to make an immediate impact on the floor and never looked back. She is someone who puts a lot of pressure on herself to perform, but over the season adjusted amazingly to the quality and the speed of volleyball at the ACAC level. It's extremely rare for a rookie to lead the league in a major statistical category, but she managed to do so with 0.74 blocks per set. That's pretty cool. It's also worth mentioning that the next 4 student athletes around the league in this category were all ACAC All-Star middle blockers, so she beat them all, so pretty cool. And the future's bright for this student athlete on and off the court, and so this year's Women's Volleyball Rookie of the Year, Sophia Jansen. everything that was asked of her and more. She took it upon herself last summer to take a big step forward with her strength and conditioning, and it clearly showed on the court this season. She was asked to be one of our team captains and did a wonderful job in advocating for the team and helping create solutions for problems that arose during the season. She was asked to play a different position for an important part of the season due to some injuries on the team, and she did so gladly with nothing but a good attitude. This year's Women's Volleyball Pride in the Pack Award goes to Lauren Huntley. Last but not least, we have our MVP award. I don't think there's a women's volleyball player in the country who is more valuable to their team than this player. On the court, the student athlete was one of the top overall players in the league, who I knew I could count on to do their job every single match. In her few short years here at Keyano College, she finished off an outstanding career. Off the court, she was a fantastic captain that would step up when something needed to be done in our locker room or in the community. She is someone that many of her peers consider a role model and looked up to this year. This year's Women's Volleyball MVP is graduating senior Ty Neufeld.
Okay, a little quick break in the sense of we're going to give away a little prize. So it's real easy. CJ, you're not allowed to answer this because I know you know. The first person that can yell out, well done. When Keyano College joined the ACAC? What year? 85, right here. Come on up. Did you say 85 too? Both of you, come on up. Both of you. Yeah, come on up. We got two winners. We got two winners. You don't want to win? Come on up. Oh, okay. Okay. I guess that's enough talking, and we need to do some eating. So we're going to take a little break now. Food is served. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off the lights here, bring the screen down. As you're eating, we're going to play the slideshow that was playing when you guys came in. The way we're going to do the eating is by team. And without question, the first two teams to go and eat is women's soccer, women's volleyball. Go ahead.
Back to next week, but I can just go straight because a few weeks just need to keep I'm feeling very uninspired and I miss figuring copy ever. I'll pin it and I'll send it to you. It's so nice. Yeah, you're really good. Okay, I will. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing this for something, but I don't know. Is he okay? But yeah, I'll send you like what all the it's always fucking cafes, all tea, like, that's the thing. UBC's the best. You have to go to the nest. You have to go to the nest. You figure it out. And then, honestly, go to the engineering hall. And engineering halls are really nice for studying. Or, like, the public library. I can't remember. It's one of the libraries. I'll look it up. And then there's this really beautiful like coffee shop restaurant in like a house, kind of near UBC where like something like yeah, it's like a French cuisine, so it's like authentic French food. So like they have a bunch of like amazing crepes. It's so beautiful, and the coffee is so fucking good there. And then
Okay, folks,
get
started with the second part of the program.
There's so many last year, 2 years ago.
Real quick, a round of applause. How's the food?
My friends.
All right. So a big shout out to Rivers Casino for providing that food, and to whoever the chef was. We have not quite Chef who? Chef Alex. He's a hero. Great job. Okay, now we're going to move on to the ACAC Awards. I'll now call up Jeremy again to announce the ACAC All-Conference winners.
Okay, first we'll be starting with the Women's All-Conference Award winners first. We just asked that all the Women's Award winners stay up on stage, and Robert's going to grab a group photo. So we'll start with our all-conference for women's basketball. Maya Messick. Sarah Panessa. From women's soccer, Sophie Griffiths. Felicia Rodney. Natalie Oriette practices Oriette. From women's volleyball, Tania Neufeld. Women's futsal, Kendra Mentz. Natalie Anderson. And Marissa Mestri.
So tired. I want to go home. Hi, Marilla. How are you? Hello. Can you sit?
Congratulations to all our ACAC Women's All-Stars. Now for our men's ACAC All-Conference Award winners. For men's basketball, Sean Michael Clancy. Omichi Williams. Talik Ross. From men's soccer, James Bartha. Carl Trounce. Louis Goldberner. Corbin Siprin. Men's volleyball, Jao Kuna. 2-6. Silva. Nikola Sharekovich. Up next, we will acknowledge our tournament all-stars from the ACAC Championships. Men's soccer, James Bartha. Men's soccer, Hafid Aureliano. Men's volleyball, Radoslav Rozowski. Nikola Sharekovich. Men's futsal, Corbin Cyprian. Gleason Anklem. James Bartha. Women's futsal, Kendra Metz. Natalie Anderson. Marissa Mestry. Men's basketball, Sean Michael Clancy.
Just a side note, for the women who are up here for ACAC All Conference winners, can you stay around on the end and take another picture? Okay. All right, moving on. Time for another prize. It's prize time. I don't know what were in the bag, so I hope they were good. So this question, again, CJ is not allowed to answer. What former sport, we don't currently have it, but what former sport in the ACAC did Keyano win its first gold? It was in women's swimming. Now, folks, before we all get heated, I'm only one person that can hear 100 people shouting out a whole bunch of stuff. The only reason Atus won, he did this. Just for the record. Okay. Moving on, again, a recognition piece. I think we'll bring up all four together. Yeah. These are the ACAC Players of the Year from the North, ACAC Rookie of the Year from the North, and ACAC Coach of the Year from the North. They are from Player of the Year from the North, from Women's Soccer, Felicia Rodney. From Men's Basketball, Sean Michael Clancy. From Men's Soccer, James Bartha. And from Men's Basketball, Coach Melinda.
Notice maybe I got to recruit a Brazilian athlete. I feel a lot of love for the Brazilian air tonight here. Okay, moving on to our CCAA awards. Starting first, this is our first ever for the women's soccer program. For the CCAA All-Canadian. Once again, Felicia Rodney. Also, with our CCAA All-Canadian, this is our third ever for the men's basketball program, and also his second and also the first ever CCAA Player of the Year for men's basketball, Sean Michael Clancy.
Just one of the things that I want to point out about, you saw a bunch of student athletes up here, ACAC All-Stars, ACAC Conference, CCAA national-wide winners. It's something to really step back and look at. At Keyano College, student population 2,200 compared to some institutions that have 20,000, 15,000. Like, everybody here, you really need to be proud of what you guys do annually here. So give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, moving on up, we're going to move to the Academic Achievement Awards. So I'd like to call on Fred Russell to come up and help present this award. Okay, we'll first start off with on the women's side. Both of these student athletes had a 4.0 GPA, and both from the same team. I agree. Those two individuals are Taryn Hope and Reza Stokes. Come on. Great job, ladies. Moving on to the men's side, same thing. Both of these individuals had a 4.0 GPA, but from different teams. First one is Nathan Lugan. And secondly, Connor McLellan from esports. Okay, next up is the Bridget and Zara Chambers Memorial Award. It is. I can never get this one out, so it's like this.
Obviously, yeah, this is an emotional award, and people that have been around a long time, they understand the significance of it. This award was for student athletes who exemplify the best qualities of a Husky athlete. He and or she is kind, works hard on and off the floor, the field, and is generous, puts others first before themselves. The winners' names are to be added to the plaque and kept in the sport office for the year. The two recipients this year from women's volleyball are Megan Blunt, and for men's soccer, Keyano.
Sorry about that, folks.
Generosity.
Well, let's go back to a prize. Here's the enthusiasm. The question is, yeah, ship is fun though. Name one country. That's not the question. Or our GPAs would be a lot lower than here. Name one country where a former Keyano athlete are now or have played professionally.
Ireland.
Nathan? Where?
Ireland.
Ireland is correct. Again, folks, it's kind of like the prizes are kind of like the T-shirts they give out for free that probably don't fit people that people lose their mind about. So it's just for a bit of fun. But I apologize if we never saw you shouting out an answer. The answers were, besides Ireland, Sweden, France, Luxembourg, and Qatar. So. Okay, moving on to the next award, the Brent Butt Memorial Award. This award is presented to an individual who has overcome adversity in their life and who possess all the positive qualities and attributions of a well-rounded Huskies student athlete. This student athlete is able to maintain a respected GPA, dedicates daily time to their sport, commits countless hours in their community, and have shown character throughout their time as a Husky student athlete. They will continue to proudly show the Huskies brand even when they come to the end of the road. The recipient of this award for 22-23 goes to, from esports, Gabriel D. Next up, I'd like to call back Fred Russell to help present the President's Award for Academic and Athletic Excellence. This award recognizes combined athletic and academic excellence of a graduating athlete. There will also be a plaque inside the athletics office with the recipient's name on it. On the women's side, for women's basketball, Zara Panessa. And from men's volleyball, Trey Weinmeyer. He's not here. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, now we come to the time for what we call the end of the road athletes. What we're going to do is we're going to call up the individuals from each team to come up to take a team picture. And when I call the person's name, you'll see a number of canvases around the windows. Go and grab your canvas and bring it up, because that is our gift to you for all of your hard work while you've been here. So first up, from men's volleyball, Trey Meyer and Radik. Come on back, just stay there. I forgot to read the second line. Also for men's volleyball, Kyler Head and Carlos Costa. That's up, both of you guys. Come on up. And also coach as well, Coach Kerr. Yeah, he's special. Okay, from women's volleyball, Ty Newfield and Ainsley Walsh. From men's soccer, Neil Walia and Otis.
What is that? That's a word. Don't look at that. You'll remember me forever.
From women's soccer, Anastasia Lalonde and Emma Bandera. From men's basketball, Selma Duplancy and Philippe Ross. And from women's basketball, Zira Panisa. Now it's time to honor a different group. The end of the road recipients are those student athletes that were with the Huskies for 1 to 4 years of their eligibility. Now we're moving into the people who used all 5 years of their eligibility here at Keyano College. And the recipients of this award will get a lettering jacket. Those people are, from women's soccer, Blanca Paula. Also from women's soccer, Isabella Bustos Chavas. And from men's volleyball, it's over to the U.S. Special, Henry Whistler. somewhat afraid to do the last one, but the last trivia question. And we'll start by teams. One answer per team until we get the right answer. And we're going to go this way. I gotta start some way. I can't start from the top down, so someone is going to be. The question is, and if you shout it out, someone might get it. So starting over with women's soccer, I believe, right? One guess. What year did the Sport and Wellness Center open? For 2010 is incorrect. Moving here, women's basketball. 2011 is incorrect. Men's soccer. 2007 is correct. Okay. A lot of excitement. Great to see. Okay, we're down to our last two awards. These are arguably kind of the pinnacle of the awards because it takes all teams into account. And that's our male and female athlete of the year. So first up, and I'm not going to read the criteria because everybody knows exactly what the criteria for this would be. So first off, for male athlete of the year, the recipient of the 22-23 male athlete of the year, Sean Michael Clancy. And the recipient of the 2022-23 female athlete of the year is, for women's soccer, Felicia Rodney. Okay, so that concludes our awards and dinner. Just before everybody leaves, a couple of thank you points, all that kind of stuff. It's already been said, but thank you from the college, Fred, Susie. Thank you from the rec side of the Sport and Wellness Center, Stephanie and her team. Thank you to all the coaches for putting in the time that you guys do. Thank you to the lady that I've been kind of setting the screen on the whole night back here, Ms. Terrell Parsons. A lot of you know how valuable she is. And of course, from first year to fifth year, thank you so much, each and every one of the student athletes here, for just being you in terms of carrying the Husky brand, carrying your team dynamic, doing everything that you guys do and girls do on a regular basis. From the heart, seriously, thank you very much. Now, also big shout out to Rivers Casino for this beautiful place that hosted us all night, as well as Chef Alex for the meal that he put together. So let's have a round of applause for that. Before we get to the last thing, I guess there's one last kind of thanks. There's been a guy going around all night with a camera, leading face, taking pictures, taking care of the music. Big shout out to Robert Murray. He takes care of all of the social media and websites. Your faces are online because of him. The last thing that I want to say is, and this is more for all the people that got mad at me because I never saw your answer for the trivia. On the side over here, you'll see 3 things. If you want it, go and take it. That is a mug, a Huskies mug, a ticket, I think it's good for 3 months, to a comedy show here in this venue, and a toque. By all means, go ahead and grab that. That is there for you before you go. Thank you so much. Have a great and safe night. Oh, sorry. As one last thing, I completely forgot. Our good man Robert has put together a really special video. So when you grab your stuff over here, come back and sit down for 1 second. And we're going to bring this down like we did for the food. And that last thing is going to show that video. If you want to wait till after the video, go get that after. That's fine. But we're going to start it in 30 seconds. Wait, Robert.
It's Kay's birthday too.
Happy
John,
birthday.
it's her birthday.
Amber, are we getting a